Hi my beautiful subscribers. So my next few videos will be a series on how to survive on a tight budget. I had the pleasure in speaking to a wonderful group of people, and I wanted to share this webinar with you because it was so informative, insightful, and amazing. You don't want to miss this, so let's get into the video. Enjoy. So thank you guys for just listening to me. I hope this was very helpful. So any questions, you can go ahead.
So when the both of you have a plan, each person, how important it is that each person stick to whatever plan that you have. That's the question.
Well, here, let me give you an example from my own household. Now, I basically handle all the bills in my household.
Yes.
So whenever I have certain bills coming out each week, I basically text it to my husband and say, these are the bills that are coming out for this week. So we know the set amount of funds that needs to be available for those bills.
Yes.
So we're both on the same page. And also regarding your situation with regards to the lighting, another way to keep in contact with each other is just send a simple text. Have you turned off the lights in the rooms that you're not using? So that is very helpful, you know, in communicating with each other, you know, what's expected of each other.
Thanks.
No problem. Any other questions?
Any other question, anybody else?
And just so I have my information on the screen, if you need to jot that down, feel free to do that.
So a lot of persons may not know Microsoft Excel, right? But you have suggested that you can build your own chart, and you can also color code it, because you can use what is called highlighter. You have highlighters, various color highlighter that you can use to highlight the various things.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I still use pen and paper for certain things, and I still have my highlighters that I highlight because it basically gives you a better understanding of that I need to take care of this. So once it's highlighted, you know that that's very important. So yes, using a highlighter, pen and paper, that's very important.
Yeah. Another question is a real eye-opener. How can you use budget to avoid debt? Somebody asked that in the chat room. How can you use budget to avoid debt?
Okay, so with a budget, you're basically organizing your finances. So if you have a set number for certain expenses and you're sticking to your budget, that allows you not to go over that amount of expense.
Yes.
And therefore you won't need to go into debt because you have a set budget, you have a set amount of expense that's not going over your income. So once you stick to it, I mean, the only way you're going to go over your budget is if you're not sticking to your budget.
Well, it's really very interesting. I think I like what I am seeing. Diane says that the budget will also allow you to be aware of any disposable income you may have after you are paid. Yeah.
Right, because as from the sample budget that I showed, it basically showed me how much extra income I had after paying my expenses. So I had basically an extra $3,000 for that month because I was able to stick to my budget. I knew the numbers and I was able to follow it and stick to it. So yes, definitely does.
Yeah. Another question is there an advantage using auto pay?
There is a big advantage. For me, my expenses that are on auto pay, so I try to set my expenses up based on the day when I get paid. So once my paycheck hits my account, my auto pay expenses hits my account. So it's taken out immediately. Now once it's taken out immediately, I don't even have to think about it because I have already paid it. And you can work with your vendors. You can work with your landlord or your mortgage company or your electrical company. Try to negotiate with them. Never take it at the viewpoint where you can't negotiate. Call them, try to negotiate with them a billing cycle that's workable for you. So
Yeah.
once you get paid, then your expense is taken out immediately and you don't have to think about it.
Okay, beautiful. Somebody's asking well, let me paraphrase it. At what point do you really get rid of your credit card? Because someone is saying that you have in your budgeting, you budget credit card, 3 credit cards they are seeing, I think. How do you, at what stage do you need to get rid of your credit card?
Well, first thing first, if your I believe credit card should be an emergency card. If you're
Okay.
low on funds, that's the only way, that's the only time you should be using your credit cards. Try not to use your credit cards and rack up that bill, because
Yeah.
following month you won't be able to pay it. You're going to be paying the minimum payment, and then you're going to have high interest rates, and that's really annoying. So try to just use your credit cards for emergency situations, like dire situations.
Okay, there's a question coming from iPad 2. You may ask your question now.
Good night, special host.
Good night.
Thank you for coming on and talking to us. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
I'm learning a lot from you. I used to save a lot, like the 200%, like 20%, like you're saying.
Right.
So I use my credit card to buy basically everything, but I monitor it and check it regularly. And when it's reached a certain point, I said, that's it, and I will stop. And if I go over, sometimes I'll take money from the savings to pay it, because I know the interest is high. I try to pay it off in full. So that is the benefit of using it. If you can manage it and
Right.
actually pay it off before and get some benefit from them.
Yeah, that's the key. Once you're able to manage your credit card and pay it off the next billing cycle, then by all means. Just one suggestion. If you have your savings account that's attached to a checking account, I would close that savings account. I normally recommend having a savings account that's within a separate banking institution. The reason for that is you having that separate savings account in another institution, you're not able to transfer the money instantly within your checking account. Or let's say you're overdraft on your checking, then the bank basically transfers the money automatically from your savings to your checking. But once you have that savings in another institution, that's basically giving you more of a leeway in saving than using that savings towards your expenses. And that's what I do. I have my savings in a different institution because I don't have direct access to it to use it.
Okay.
Good point there. Good point.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Whoa,
Something
what?
I can look
Boy,
into.
these are really
Thank you.
Somebody's asking though, how do I cut on my grocery list when all the things that I'm purchasing, I need them? How do I cut down? If I'm cutting down on everything, how do I cut down on that? Could you give some suggestions there?
Well, so what I've realized sometimes, and I'm not sure if every family go through this, you purchase grocery, like let's say every 2 weeks, and you have certain things that spoil or goes bad within a few days.
Yes.
You don't need to be buying that every 2 weeks, because now if you're throwing out food, you're wasting money because you paid for that. So try to see what items that goes bad or spoils within a couple of days. Try to purchase less of that. Also, another thing you can do is to buy in bulk, as I mentioned. You'd be amazed that items that you purchase on a weekly basis, if you bought that in bulk, you'd be saving tons of money. Well, not tons, but you'll be saving a little bit more than if you bought it individually. For example, some people would say, okay, shopping at the dollar store, that's a big bargain. But when you add that up, if you purchase the items that you're buying from the dollar store, you're basically spending $10 or $20 more at the dollar store than if you were supposed to purchase it as a bulk item. So look into those aspects of how to reduce your grocery expense.
Now you can use, like for instance, if you get a lump sum of money, you can use that time to do your bulk buying, because I mean,
Right.
yeah. And so, for instance, I remember when COVID came, I went and I do a big buying.
Mhm. A
And
lot of people.
so I still have stuff, I have not bought certain stuff since then. And so what it has done, I have saved some money because I go to like Price Mart, where it's like Costco in the States,
Yes.
or Sam's, and you really save. So even though you pay a membership of $5,000, if you do 2-3 shopping, you almost cover that cost already because of how much you're saving.
Yes.
And I still have stuff. 5 months gone, I still have stuff, and I'm sure that those prices with the with the dollar going up or down,
Fluctuation, yeah.
fluctuation of the money, of the dollar, that even make you save even more when you look back at it.
Like for example, I have a BJ's membership here in the US, and I
Yes.
normally purchase my like toiletries in bulk because you're saving a lot more just by
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. The other question is, so you say that you buy, you have to, well, if you can buy in bulk, that is good, and you have wholesale places in Jamaica where you can also go and purchase. Instead of going to the regular supermarket, you have wholesale that you can go and purchase.
Yeah.
But you make a suggestion though that I want you to expand on a little bit. You say making extra money. Could you suggest some other, you mentioned something like, crocheting and all those things. Could you make some other suggestion, or if there's anybody else listening on who can make some suggestion, they can go ahead and do so. But then I'm going to take a question from Rhoda Moore.
Sure. So as I mentioned, if you braid hair, that's a hobby. You can make extra income from that. If for example, here in the US during the summer, you can mow lawn, your neighbor's lawn. That's making extra income. In the wintertime, you can blow their snow during the wintertime. That's making extra income. If you do nails, that's making extra income. Babysitting, that's making extra income.
Baking.
Right.
Yeah.
That's making extra income. So any little thing that you love to do, any little hobby that you do around the house, you can use that to make extra income. So I hope you guys enjoyed this part of the webinar because there is more in store. But go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know some ways you have been able to survive on a tight budget. I'm also excited to share with you our top seller Master Your Money Guide, which is a step-by-step guide to becoming financially independent. I have included a link in the description below. This is also a huge discount. So get it now while it's at our low price at only $79, which is actually valued at $3.99. But before you leave, please remember to hit that like button, share my videos. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so I can continue to bring you more financial tips for free. And remember, hit that notification bell to become one of the first subscribers to be notified when we release new financial videos. Join me in our next video where we continue to discuss how to survive on a tight budget and for more financial tips and secrets right at your fingertips. Don't waste it, share it. Thank you guys for watching.